Gravity is all that I know. She's over me. She's over me. She comes with her hypnotic dance. She holds me here with only a glance. She's over me. She's over me. All right, guys, welcome to the Paranormal Portal. I don't know what's going on here. It's a lot of something updated, something got screwed up, and therefore something needed fixing right before the show here. So I hope it's now fixed. I don't know. I at least we got a Band-Aid on it at this point, and that's about all we can hope for. But I hope you guys can hear me okay, and I hope you guys are doing wonderful. Thank you all for being here and being a part of the show. As always, it's a definite pleasure to do the shows. It's not always a definite pleasure to have to figure out what the hell's wrong with them. That's a whole different animal, but I don't know what changed. I'm here to tell you. First, we couldn't hear anything through the board as far as the bumpers and stuff. I'm going, what's going on? And then... it just got more fun from there, as you can imagine. So, but I'm not alone here. I am joined by my good friend and co-host, Mr. Don Longbeard, who's here.
Going topless tonight.
Ooh, you sexy bastard!
Yeah, I forgot my favorite cover.
Yeah, I'm topless too. I'm
Look at that.
I'm rolling hair.
See, actually, Don does have hair.
He's got a full head of locks.
Yep,
as it were.
There we go.
You look fine.
You
look distinguished.
Yeah, it's called gray. See, right here.
Yeah.
All that gray there.
Mock that blue line.
Here. What the?
Mock that blue line.
Yeah. Go ahead. You get that from wisdom. Or being driven crazy half your life.
Absolutely. So, again, sorry for the late start, ladies and gentlemen, but we had some audio issues that I was attending to, and I'm still not at all confident that anything's been fixed. But at least we got it to a point where we could do the show and hopefully not blow your eardrums out.
Yes,
you should have heard the volumes that we had cooking here.
Yes, Cam, I have hair.
Yeah, he's got hair, guys.
Always had hair.
I'm just saying. I knew you did. Of course, I knew you did, but because I've known you for years. But yeah, I think people thought maybe you were doing the Edge from U2 or something.
No, I'm not that low.
What was I doing? Oh, I remember what I was doing. I can't think when I have problems. They always screw me up, Don. They screw me up.
Oh yeah, we don't have the back thing going on.
We're gonna.
There it is. Hey, look at that. Bonk. There you go. Hit it. No, you missed it now.
There?
Oh, yep. There you go.
Okay, and there.
There you go.
Got it. We now have multimedia happening all around us.
Yeah.
And then.
Oh yes, you got to give them the moon.
I can't start the show without giving you guys a full moon. What color, Don? What do you
see, I think I chose blue last time.
Yeah, well, what color this time? That one good?
Works great. New moon, yeah, that'll work.
That'll
work.
All right, there we go. We got a moon out there. We got the screen rolling.
Wow.
We got volumes that we can handle and not get any work comp claims cooking here on the portal.
I know. Damaged eardrums, $5,000.
I can't hear. I tuned into the portal and now I'm deaf in one of my ears.
No, Noli, I forgot my hats when I came to the studio.
Yeah, he's cooking.
Going topless, baby.
This is organic Longbeard right here, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my goodness, I could do a comb over. I mean, it is.
Oh, that's
long.
just disturbing as hell. Do you want a hat? I got some you can borrow if you want.
It's too late. They've already seen me nude.
Well, yep. Check it out, ladies and gentlemen. This is maybe the only time you'll ever see this. I got to tell you, Don likes his hats.
I do.
No crack. No what? No
Never
cracking
mind, just leave it
vertical smiles. Yeah. No, I won't. Shout out. Oh, you want to shout out, Bob?
Hey, Bob.
Bob in Germany's in here.
Oh, should we just do shout outs right now, or do you want to do the?
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's.
I went full Kiss there for a
Yes, you
second.
did.
That's one of my all-time favorite songs, by the way. Oh yeah.
Five Hazels here. Beastly Bronco. There's Beth in her new shirt. She's swagged out. Got Black Tree here, and she's pushing the merch. Gotta love her. Bob in Germany. Cajun Jules. Cam FD's here. DJ Big Red. Elaine. I am Pam. Isaac's here. Nice to see all of you that I've mentioned so far. Justin Goodearth and Lindsay Bay. Nice to see you. Our buddy, the Tales from the Trails, Mr. MCAT is here. There is Mogion and Nessie Monster. Okay, it's Mogion Monster and then Nessie Monster. Noli 420. Rachel gets it right. Nice to see you. Real Dill. Smoking Joe's here. That Harvey girl. The spaces between, that'd be Miss Paisley Wild, World Bigfoot Radio, and that'd be our friend Mr. Duke Sullivan. And somebody popped in, and I didn't catch the name. Christina, how are you?
Cool.
So there you go. That's who I'm seeing right now. Did I say Smoking Joe? Just making sure.
Smoking Joe.
Smoking Joe.
There you go.
Yeah.
And Justin Gooder says he's here.
Justin.
Did you say that one already?
Gooder, yeah.
Okay. Because
It's the other Justin that's not here yet.
Cajun Jules.
Cajun Jules, yeah.
Nice to see you, Cajun Jules. I don't recognize that name, but it's a cool name.
Been in and out. I see it occasionally.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, hey, Don and Brent, Truth Hip Hop is here as well.
Oh,
Very good. Thanks,
right on.
DJ Big Red. I appreciate it. It's always a pleasure. Christina's here. Hi, guys.
So, yeah.
I'm just saying. She said hi. So,
Hi. Oh, yeah. Hey.
Yeah. I was just saying hi back.
We're kind of confused right now. We're still trying to, get the brains unscrambled from the.
Yeah, it was a mad panic here, and it's again I get comfortable because I've got everything set up the way I want it, and then
Terrestrial Mac.
Terrestrial
Barry Brim
Mac.
just came in.
Terrestrial Max here.
Yeah.
He's a good guitar player. You guys should check out his channel. He does some streams of him playing different tunes.
Different tunes.
He's a very skilled man.
Very good.
Yes, he doesn't see me. D Swagger. That's when I sneak into the basement.
I said
Ooh.
D's here.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah. D said something about please think of the children
Think of them.
when she saw that I was topless.
Oh, hey,
Yes.
hey, that's true. It's a family show, but no nipples on that head, as far as I can tell.
Oh no.
We're okay. We were within guidelines, I think.
Oh goodness.
There's no nipples rocking there. Okay, so Don, everything good in your world?
It was.
Okay, all right. Well, I guess just wanted to let you know that we're going in.
We're going in.
Dub 45 says we got some good headphones here. Who are you talking about? Who's got good headphones?
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What's wrong with mine? I have headphone envy now. What's wrong with my headphones exactly? Mine are Bose.
Bose.
Bose. Yeah. I got the Bose rocking.
Yeah. God, his replacement ear pads on his were like $20 just for the pads.
Yeah, I found a cheaper version though, I think. I did. But there was one leather set that was like, really? I don't know. Well, I don't shave enough and because my beard is so slight, but it tears the hell out of these things.
Oh.
And so I'm not going to invest $20 in something that my beard's going to rip through in a couple months. So, but how's everybody doing? You guys got anything on your mind? Let's have a audience participation night.
Participation.
Ask the hosts. Ask the host questions. It's time for audience participation here on the portal. We've been, of course, entertaining you for years.
All hosts also have the ability to not answer questions as they see fit.
We reserve the right to disavow knowledge of your question. But if you got something you've been wondering about, was watching Ghost Adventures videos. Well, I'm glad.
I'm sorry.
Jeez, Louis, you must have been bored or something. Watch them do the ritual sacrifice of Aaron for another week.
Yeah, no doubt.
So we do have a phone line here, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome to call in and use it. 720-923-0500. Again, 720-923-0500 is the way you can contact us here on the portal.
Or you could just grab a Ouija board and go the hell away.
You could summon something else. It's up to you. But yeah.
I was just thinking of ways of contact. This Ouija board don't work, and if it does,
$1,000, MCAT, Jesus.
Yeah, I know, but
I don't know.
Bose, it was a Bose
flight headset.
Yeah,
those are incredible. But I don't know what you can do to a pair of earphones to make them worth $1,000. But
let's see.
I better come with like a neck massager built in or something.
I've known you since what, the mid 2015.
Okay. Yep.
Somebody asked how long we've known.
Smoking Joe. Yeah. 2015, I guess. Yeah. Don and I used to work at the same business.
Business.
Where was that? None of your business.
None of your business.
No.
It's almost defunct anyhow.
Yeah. Well, it should be, but unfortunately, it's still floating somehow. But
that's
anyway.
what poop does.
But it was enough to get us in touch with each other, so that's a good thing. So I mean, I was already doing the portal for quite a while before Don came on board. But Don came on as a guest first, and we had a good conversation, a few laughs, and he came on another time, and I was like hearing all kinds of feedback from the listeners, like, "Oh, this is really cool. You guys are really good together." I was like, "Hey, Don,
do you want a job? It doesn't pay anything, but come on.
Do you want a hobby? Because it's not a job unless it pays."
Can't talk about my hobbies.
You want a hobby that doesn't involve your basement or meat? Just saying. So that's how we got there. Beth Fierce has a question.
It, yeah.
See above, she says.
See it.
Question. I always wondered what your day jobs were. Mine is sitting here trying to think of what to talk to you guys about most of the time.
Mine is putting my butt in a meat grinder every day.
Yeah, Don's grinding the sausage.
Out of all the paranormal beings we know of, which ones do you guys think are the most dangerous and why?
Wow, that's a great question.
That's actually a good question.
I why don't you go first, Don?
Do I go first?
Yeah, why not?
You know, anything that comes out of a Ouija board. But paranormal, you know, I think I would have most issue with black-eyed children. Mm-hmm. They just kind of creep me out.
Yeah.
Sausage. Nessie Monster says sausage. No, well, humans. Humans is a good answer too, Mog. Yeah. No, but black-eyed children, because they're the ones that would most likely suck somebody like me in. Mm. And just because I have a soft spot for kids in rough, you know, I kids need to be nurtured, and you know, they need to be guided, and I don't know how good I am at that, but I try, and sure. I think I'd get suckered into one of those. But I tell you what, if ever my doorbell rang and I looked out there and I saw two kids out there and I had this feeling of dread emanating through the door, I think that'd be a good big clue as to what kind of people those are.
Yeah, I think so.
Besides Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yep.
Did I say that?
You and Ken.
Yeah, I know.
So I agree that black-eyed kids are certainly creepy. And now here's the thing. I've had a lifetime full of different paranormal experiences, and I'll tell you, the one that scared me the most was being 14 and having something huge behind me growling.
Yeah, no doubt.
I thought I was going to die. I mean, it was. Now, I've lived through plenty of hauntings, many haunting experiences, things moving, crashing, lights from my ceiling, but none of those ever freaked me out. So the spiritual stuff, for some reason, doesn't freak me out as much. It's the physical things that I think, to me, are the most terrifying. However, I will say that some truly aggressive, demonic kind of things, I think, are incredibly dangerous. I mean, just horribly, incredibly dangerous, because they take people over.
Right.
And they destroy everything around them.
Walk-ins.
Yeah. Well, I mean, not even just walk-ins. Some of the walk-ins are they're creepy, and that's weird and horrible, but I'm talking like a full-on demonic possession. No, I've always said the the word demon gets way overused in
Right.
in the paranormal, way overused, because everybody wants that street cred.
Right.
Yeah, we were dealing with a demon down at the Hanson place, me and my team. Well, that sounds really cool, but I'm sure if you really dealt with a demon, you're probably not thinking that you can't wait to brag about it to your friends. You probably want to forget about it, because if you're truly meeting something that dark and that horrible, it's going to put a scar on you. It's going to put a scar on your soul. I mean,
Right.
they're just horribly powerful things and diabolical. You know, many of them are believed to be thousands of years old, and they've had nothing but time to think about how to wreck people.
Right.
And, you know, they'll take years to get to somebody if they need to. So I think that that kind of a diabolical intelligence is truly frightening. But I think like things like, you know, the Bigfoot that I believe was a Bigfoot growling behind me really made me feel terrified. It's the most fear I've ever felt through the course of my life.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I did see the UFO, and that didn't freak me out until I until I realized that they're probably looking at me too, and that was kind of freaky. But that was just like, okay, I'm good with this now. I've seen it. It's real. I know it's real. I want to be done now. And I went inside, and that was it. I don't know. You know, it's tough. But I think you're right. The black-eyed kids are incredibly creepy because they appeal to such a gentle, loving place in
Yes.
us all to
Yeah.
help.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that that's horrible that they exploit that. So, a great question though. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, absolutely.
Smoking Joe says, "How long you been doing the portal?" I started doing the portal in 2016, June.
April, of course. April.
Mine was April
Your
too.
first was like April 17th or something like that.
Oh yeah, but I know it was 2016.
That's why I'm the archivist.
Yep, you are. Yep, Aether Archives. He knows. But yeah, so I was doing it, and then a year later, Don came on board.
And my first show was actually, ironically, April Fool's Day. I thought he was joking me for a while. I was like, you want me on that day? And he didn't know. He just said, hey, come on Saturday. And I didn't know if he knew or not, but apparently he didn't. So it wasn't an April Fool's joke. And
No,
I was like, okay, this is cool.
I sincerely thought it would be fun.
So actually, the joke is on you because here I am. I'm still here.
Like a bad rash, he still comes every week. No, so that's how long we've been doing it, and it's changed form quite a bit through the.
has.
You know, it's evolved a bit here and there. But the Kev Baker show's in here. Hello, Mr. Kev.
Ah, Mr. Kev.
Good to see you. I just saw that. Wonderful to see him. He's been streaming like a madman lately.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, he's working almost as well. I think as hard as we are. Don. I mean, he's doing that much material.
Wow.
Kev is just putting it out there. And ladies and gentlemen, if you're not familiar with the Kev Baker Show, definitely check it out. He's really got it dialed in. Great, does a great job, and has some of the most amazing guests and discussions. So if you're not familiar with Kev Baker, you need to get familiar with
Check it out.
So, let's see. Any more questions? Because I paused the screen on that one, so I want to make sure that I answered it.
Yeah, I haven't seen any new questions. You guys got any more?
It says, "Have you done it every single day, Brent?" I don't. I've only done shows every single day since I started doing the bedtime stories.
The BTS.
So the portal started out as a Friday Saturday show, and it was just a Friday Saturday show, and then
Internet radio only.
yeah, it was internet radio only, and then I think it was we started streaming first, and then started the Wednesday show. Or help me remember.
Well, we didn't have a Wednesday show until we started streaming. So
Right,
like
okay.
in June of 17, we started doing the evidence reviews.
Yep.
We
Okay.
did-
So
we
it was
did
like
about-
September that we started
Yeah, it was actually like the end of August, our first episode.
doing a live show on
Yes,
YouTube.
and then that was interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's that. There you go. And then you know, it's had different. You know, we've had different studios. We've had, you know, we started having guests on. We started having tech issues.
Yeah, we've had all kinds of deals.
So yeah, it's been a journey.
Yeah. But so it's only been since the evidence reviews have been started that it actually has been an everyday show. And that was just me deciding, you know, I wanted the word about the show to get out there. I love doing the shows and everything.
And he meant the bedtime stories, not the evidence reviews.
Yeah. I said bedtime stories, didn't I?
No.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
All right, I
the reason I'm
misspoke.
here.
But thanks, Don. But I just wanted to help the show get exposure. I love doing it. So yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
I am not Polish, Beth. I'm not at all Polish, actually. But not that there's anything wrong with that, but I'm just not.
What?
I don't know.
Polish. Furniture polish or Polish?
Polish or Polish, yeah.
I don't know. I get those two words mixed up.
Yeah, well, I think they're very similar.
Have you heard of dogmen in other countries outside of the continental United States? The answer is yes.
Yes.
They just call them by different names.
It seems so, yeah. There's all kinds of these canid cryptids all over the place. Even Australia has a version, I believe. And they have apparently encounters with them there. So they seem to be just about as prolific as the Bigfoot as far as their presence around the world. I think the Bigfoot is even more widespread because every correlation I've ever heard about dogmen is it is associated with being close to water. Mm-hmm. But there have been Bigfoot sightings in the middle of deserts. So I don't know how that works, but apparently they seem to be much more robust in that manner and able to,
They know how to crack open a cactus and drink the water out of it.
maybe, yeah, or something. But they definitely seem to be everywhere, whereas dogmen seem to be more. They more stick with waterways, and that was Linda Godfrey's research. She brought that to the show, and she told us about how they're always following waterways. And I think that tends to be a roadmap of some kind for all of these cryptids. Bigfoot are also known to follow waterways as well as high voltage lines going through forests. They kind of treat those like navigable paths as well, from my understanding. But yeah, they seem to be everywhere.
Who is Henry McCabe?
Henry McCabe.
Yes. Real Deal says, what do you think of the Henry McCabe recordings?
Oh, is that the Dogman thing? The Dogman recording? Is that what you're talking about, Real Deal? That was allegedly from the 70s? Is that the one we're talking about?
I haven't heard about that.
I got to make sure that I'm thinking of the right thing, and then I'll respond. So as soon as she responds, I will answer that. Just a Real Deal.
Don't leave us hanging.
Help us understand Henry McCabe. I guess I could just Google it as quick.
That's pretty much what I'm doing.
Oh, okay.
Mysterious facts. Creepy voicemail left by him adds more drama to his death. So
maybe it's something different. Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to think of what the name of that footage is.
So let's see here.
I guess I'm not familiar with it right offhand.
Yeah, neither am I. So here we go. Let's do this. The death of Henry McCabe is one of the most mysterious deaths till date. A creepy voicemail left by him adds more drama to his death. Henry McCabe, age 32, worked as an auditor and lived in Minnesota.
Oh.
He was going through a bad phase in his life and was dealing with bad work reviews. Before disappearing in 2015, he had also gotten a divorce from his wife. It was the Labor Day evening, and Henry McCabe, with his friend William Kennedy, was drinking at a club. According to William Kennedy, he dropped Henry off at a gas station close to his house. When William then told police that around 2 a.m. when he dropped Henry, and it was the last time he saw or heard from him. The body found. The police found Henry McCabe's body in Rush Lake. It took the officials approximately 2 months to find Henry McCabe. The body had no marks or cuts or wounds. There was no evidence of William Kennedy dropping Henry at the gas station he had previously mentioned. The gas station cameras had no such footage.
Mm-hmm.
On questioning William about this, he informed the police that he had dropped Henry off at a different gas station.
Ooh.
He gave a statement of Henry being in a terrible state due to alcohol overconsumption. The officials found Henry McCabe's dead body 4 miles away from the gas station. Hence, it looks highly unlikely that Henry could have walked so far. He was in a terrible state and was nearly impossible for him to walk that far in the dark of the night. Things get interesting. Henry's wife was in California that night, and around 2:23 a.m., she received a call from him. This is roughly 20 minutes after William had dropped off Henry. Henry had a harsh conversation with his wife and told her that he had been shot. There were weird sounds on the phone, which she describes as moaning, growling, and growling.
Mm.
Henry was in a lot of pain, she explained, and the call ended in silence before someone yelled, "Stop it!" So that's the recording. Now there is it's on YouTube. The recording is on YouTube.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So was Henry McCabe murdered? William Kennedy was the prime suspect in the murder case. William's initial story of dropping Henry off at a gas station proved wrong, but he clarified it by mentioning a different gas station. Interestingly, Kennedy also has the house keys of Mr. Henry McCabe. Another friend of Henry McCabe had Henry's wallet, which made him another suspect. Wow.
Yeah, it sounds like some foul stuff going on, but they said when they found his body, he had no marks on him.
Yeah, nothing, yeah. Oh.
So he claimed he was shot in the phone conversation with his wife, but
Right, good catch,
but no marks on his body. Very curious.
Another friend of Henry McCabe had Henry's wallet, but according to that friend, he took Henry's wallet to prevent him from buying more drinks. Did Henry die due to drowning? According to the reports and evidence, Henry McCabe died due to heavy drinking and drowning in Rush Lake. But it's still a mystery about the location of the body. The location had a different story to say. The lake was surrounded by dense foliage with no creeks leading to the lake. The big question is how did Henry's body land there? Chances are that a wild animal attacked Henry before he died. The growling noise over the phone could explain, but why did he tell his wife that he'd been shot?
Yeah.
And who screamed, "Stop it"? Some people believe the noises on the phone were similar to the people who overdose on a particular drug. Was Henry the victim of a drug overdose? Henry's bodies had no marks, cuts, bullet marks, or wounds. Then how did Henry die?
That's strange. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. We also had a question in there about what do we think about all these disappearances. And I'm referring, of course, to the missing 411 type of work by David Paulides.
Right.
I don't know. That's kind of the $1 million question, I guess. What happened to this guy? What happens to these people that are taken in broad daylight, sometimes in the middle of groups, just disappearing, and even tracking dogs won't follow the scents in many cases, refuse to track. And these people are found without their shoes, or their shoes and clothes are just tidy, nice pile somewhere, and their body is found 15 miles away or something stupid over these crazy mountain ranges. I don't know. I really don't know, and it boggles my imagination what could be going on there. I think many of us would love to say, well, it's a Bigfoot, or or UFOs, or maybe it's strange portals that are opening and closing in these wild places. I don't know. I just don't have anything substantial to add to that. Like, I've never really been able to conceptualize what could be happening to these people, or is it just several phenomena that seem to have similar outcomes, that these people are found so far away. Right. There's been plenty of cases, like there was a mentally disabled kid who was found, and he talked about the hairy man that or some creature that helped him stay warm. And so I don't know, it's very strange. And it's absolute heartbreaking in many of these cases that these people are, just gone.
Right.
And there's no answers for the families or the people that love them. And I think that's horribly tragic. I imagine it would be a special kind of hell to have to live through, knowing someone you love was gone and you don't know why, you don't know what happened, you don't know what to do about it, just gone. So, however, I know that there's a lot of strangeness in our world, but I don't know. Don, do you have any ideas about those?
Honestly, I have no clue. I mean, and it's scary in a way, obviously, because people are just disappearing with no clues, no reasons, and nobody's reporting it. That makes it even worse.
Right.
There's no way to tell if it's alien abduction, like the Travis Walton story. They were out in the backwoods, driving home, and he's gone. You know, and he even talked about a tractor beam or something like that. And then you think about Bigfoot, Dogman, Puckwudgies,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
all the things that could be out there.
Yeah, and then, or even odd portals, opening and closing at weird times, dimensional shifts, time slips, and time anomalies in general.
Mm-hmm.
All these things that we think about, and do we ever think about? Well, some of them just wanted to get the hell away.
Right.
Maybe they use that as I'm gone.
Yeah.
I'm going to the Bahamas and living my life anew.
Right.
And I bet you there's some of those too. I mean,
Could be.
People
faking their own deaths and taking off.
Well, it's not faking a death. It's just disappearing. It's not against the law to just disappear. It's against the law to try to kill yourself. What sense does that make? So,
right. Well, that's true.
But it really, there's no answer for it. There's no, you just have to go with whatever you're going to believe,
Yeah.
I believe that, maybe somebody fell down a ravine and got torn apart by not domestic animals, but, animals appropriate for that,
right.
terrain or whatever, coyotes,
Sure.
cats, big cats, whatever that is, bears. Bears generally don't eat dead things though. So if you ever see a bear play dead, you may be dead when it's done. But,
if you're dealing with a grizzly, play dead. If you're dealing with a black bear, it'll start eating you. I mean, you got to fight with a black bear. A grizzly bear, I was just having this discussion with my cousin the other day. He said that grizzly bear, it's just, you can play dead and sometimes make it out okay.
Right.
But a black bear, you can't, because they're doing that because they plan on eating you, and they will start to eat you even if you're still alive. So
okay,
you always got to fight.
Didn't know it was going to take a turn to the macabre.
Yeah, well, this is the paranormal portal.
This is the paranormal portal.
No, Beth Fierce says, Marianne woman said it's mostly Christians being taken. I do not agree. And so here's the thing.
Yeah, no.
Now these reportings from David Politis's work is Canada and America.
Right.
What are the primary religions in both of those countries? Well, it's Christianity.
So it's happenstance.
Well, it's just a matter of if people were disappearing in Iraq, I imagine most of them would be Muslim, and people could say, well, they only take Muslims. Well, that's not true. It's just more than likely the people disappearing are going to be practicing some form of Islam. And in America, practicing people are most likely going to be Christian, as far as a religious thing. So I don't think it's that easy just to say, well, it's just Christians being taken. It's not. It's just that this is, Canada and America have primarily been Christian countries.
Right.
Or at least there's a much larger population.
Yeah, the much larger population of a common religion.
That's my point. Yeah. I mean, certainly. So I would agree with you, Beth, that it's not just, they're not just taking Christians. There just happen to be more Christians in the area, and probably more out there that are Christian in the woods doing, being hunters, being a lot of conservatives, of course, have the Christian faith, and so it just stands to reason, I guess. But not uniquely so. But so I don't know. Those are the kind of blanket statements I think that are really misleading.
Because everybody says, oh, United States is a Christian country.
Right.
Well, that's like saying, we're, wherever, that Eastern religion comes from, everybody there is Muslim. Well, that's just because it's the largest demographic.
Right.
Of
exactly.
That religion.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see Cha-Cha came in.
Oh, Cha-Cha's late.
She just found out you were topless. So.
Oh, yes.
So anyway, I don't know if I've missed any other ones.
No, I don't think so. But Beth asked.
Thank you, Justin.
One question Beth asked is, why can't we get a non-blurry picture of Bigfoot? What's their secret?
I think it's mostly that people are operating in serious adrenaline rushes when they see them, and the last thing they're thinking is holding the camera steady. Hell, most people forget they're even holding a camera.
Picture, so
they forget that they're doing anything other than standing there with their mouth open. So it's not. Right. Most a lot of people don't realize this, but most Bigfoot sightings are like 2 or 3 seconds long, and that's it.
Kind of like most UFO sightings. Oh, it was gone in 5 seconds.
Right. So
that's pretty much what it is.
Everybody's carrying a smartphone with a camera on them, but how fast can you whip it out? get your shot lined up and take a picture after the camera focuses. You got maybe 10 seconds, and so most sightings are literally just a few seconds. So there's not a lot of time. You've got to be thinking clearly enough that, I got to get my camera out.
Right.
I got to line up the shot, and I got to wait for the camera to grab the right focal length and then squeeze.
Yeah.
So, that's a great excuse a lot of people have about, there should be pictures all over the place because everybody's got cell phones. Well, yeah, but you still got to get them out of your pocket. You still got to be line up your shot, and you still got to wait for that damn lens to, focus in on what you want it to grab. So, that's why there's so many blurry shots, as people are just, mad grabbing and clicking because they can't believe it's there.
Right.
And they're working on an extraordinarily adrenalized state. Mm-hmm. They're in a state of, oh my God. So it doesn't surprise me at all.
Right.
That's 99% of the photos out there are horribly blurry and out of focus.
Real Deal asked us to pull up the Henry McCabe recording and play it, but I don't think we can do that.
Yeah, I don't want to start playing other people's content. That'll give us a copyright strike, or it very well could. I don't know. Right. I've always steered away from that, but I would just recommend, look into it. It sounds really... I'd never heard about it before tonight, so...
Yeah, me neither.
I find that incredibly compelling, but I don't want to risk a copyright strike or defying the YouTube gods.
Yeah, we don't need that.
We've worked really hard to stay on the good graces and not to get... not to have to deal with all that garbage, so far so good.
Brent and Don, can you recall the most unusual story you've ever read or heard? Brent? The most unusual story.
I think that probably one of the stories, and I've mentioned it a lot lately, but it still surprises the hell out of me, and it's the one of the pregnant woman whose husband was overseas in Iraq and got killed and didn't come home, and she was pregnant all by herself to deal with this child, the first child she's ever had, and she spent a lot of time in the apartment or in the house, leaning against the sink because she was very pregnant, and bawling, bawling and bawling and bawling and bawling. So, she finally got to a better place and emotionally, but she spent so many, months just devastated because of this, and the child came and she had this baby to deal with. Well, she had an opportunity to sell the house and move to a different house. So she moves to this other house, but is still in touch with the neighbors, their friends. And so she would, every once in a while, get together with these friends. And she knew that somebody had bought her old house and was living there. And she asked her friend, who was neighbor to the old house, how are the new people doing? Is the house going okay for them? And they said, the neighbor said, yeah, they're doing fine, except they have this recurring apparition of a very pregnant ghost crying at the kitchen sink. Mm-hmm. And so to me, it was just amazing because we always equate hauntings and residual things with people long gone, that's part of the imprint they left up behind. But that event really explained to me or showed me that it just takes a strong emotional occurrence. Right. So not all hauntings are dealing with people that have passed. There could be just really emotionally charged events that can create these residual haunts that can happen. So I think that's probably the coolest and weirdest one. We just covered a bunch of stories on these children who are reincarnated and remembering their past lives on today's podcast that was released. And I just think those are just today, incredible. Huh?
That was today, wasn't it?
Yeah, doesn't it seem like it's hard to tell which day we're on?
Yes.
It does. But I think those are amazing. And for several reasons, not because I need to believe in reincarnation, but if you ever want proof of life after death, that seems to be a pretty compelling case, that we are going somewhere and maybe we'll come back,
right?
Try again, get the things right that we screwed up this time. And, maybe we'll have another shot at this. And I just think it just shows the universality of life, that it continues. Right. And I think that the more reassurances we can have about those kind of things, I think are incredibly powerful, because otherwise we get sucked into 3 dimensions, 9 to 5s, Monday through Fridays. Birth, death, and taxes, that's the only, absolutes, and you better get it right because, if you get it wrong, you're going to burn. That's a horrible outlook to me. So I love the idea that if we don't get it right, maybe we'll get another shot. So how about you, Don?
I really can't think of anything that really stands out to me. Black-eyed children's stories are kind of the creepier ones, but because of the weird things that happen after they leave. Like we read one story about, a lady whose husband ended up with like a brain cancer or something, and
Yeah.
just the weird things, and children dying after they've let them into the car, things like that. Those are the kind of the creepy ones. But I gotta tell you, none really stick out. Actually, one of the creepier stories actually is the one with our friend Chris Gio and the demon in his basement.
I'm sorry?
The voice, the demon in Chris's basement.
Well, we don't know if it's a demon.
Well, we don't know if it was a demon, but it was scary as shit. And he wouldn't even open the door. That was kind of creepy, but that's because maybe more because it was somebody I know.
Sure.
As opposed to, a disconnection from, and the story from Calvin that we read on the, you read it on the show too.
About the Bigfoot one?
No.
Oh, no, Calvin with the rake.
The rake.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was creepy because that was creepy.
Yeah, that was really creepy.
So there you go. Those I'll call that my creepiest unusual stories, I guess, because really, I mean, I find most of these things benign, most of these stories benign. I do find them creepy, interesting, macabre, whatever that may be, but none of them really stick out to me.
Rachel says, "Demon in the basement. Get it a Snickers. Offer it a Snickers."
Yeah, we're gonna be a Snickers commercial up in here if I don't get one real quick.
Oh, that's funny.
I told somebody that at work the other day. I said, if I don't go eat, it's going to be a Snickers commercial in here. And you don't want to see John Malkovich taking my place.
Oh, yeah. John Malkovich is a good actor. Very good actor.
Yes.
All right.
Any more questions? I didn't see any.
Great news. It means I'm out of here. Cha-cha, laugh out loud.
I have Lateralis. That's a excellent item. Album.
What?
Oh, I'm just responding to something Beth said.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Any more questions, or did we miss anything?
More questions. Come on.
It's fine. I mean, if you don't want to know anything else, this is just your opportunity to ask.
720-923-0500 or 0500.
Yeah, if you're ever wondering, look above my head. It's right up there.
It's in little tiny font.
It is.
Micro font.
It is. I'm getting a message.
What?
So Linda says she's not getting the show tonight for some reason.
Huh.
Ah.
Oh, it's because...
Probably because we were late. Tech difficulties.
Boxers or briefs? Briefs.
Boxer briefs. Me.
He's got to be that hybrid guy.
Yeah, I don't do the tighty whities. Even if I like that's the only option, I'll just go commando.
I hate that. I can't.
I'm not big on it, but it's just like I just can't do the whole bun hugging thing. That whole bun hugging.
I got to have the support.
Okay. Well, I don't know what to say to that. In fact, I'm definitely not going to say anything to that because there's some questions I don't need answering.
What was the strangest thing that's happened to each of you?
Oh, dear God. How much time you got?
Yeah, no doubt.
Go ahead, Don, because this might be
the
quicker
strangest,
to you.
Actually, the strangest thing happened in January of 2018. We were getting ready to do, I believe it was a Wednesday night show. I know it was a Wednesday night show because it was the day of the Super Blue Blood Moon.
Yeah.
And that day, we were up in the studio. We were getting ready to do their thing, and we were firing up all the little accoutrement. And Brent was feeling nauseous and flush, and he was feeling dizzy.
I was having a hard time staying conscious.
Yeah, he couldn't stay
I got
conscious.
hit with such waves of energy. I couldn't do anything. I was just literally I was doing everything I could. Like if you ever fainted and the walls close in, that's exactly what was happening. I was fighting with everything I had to stay sitting upright and not falling over in my chair. And
so what happened was, he was doing that, and I was futzing with my microphone. I blew 2 microphones that night.
Yeah.
We stood. I don't know how. And then I got up to get a new microphone. I knocked over I told this on the Parathon the other night.
Nope.
But that's kind of like the weirdest kind of thing that's happened to me. And I cannot bake a cherry pie. I hate cherries. However, I was having this. I think I was picking up his energy, the negative stuff, and I think I was.
I don't even know if it was negative. It was just so powerful.
That energy, that powerful energy that you had going on, whether it be good or bad.
Right.
But wow, and it was just the weirdest night because I was knocking stuff over, blowing mics, just no luck. And that's really the only real lost episode we don't have, because we actually started streaming and there was a show for about this long.
Yeah, it was a 5-minute show.
Yeah, and it was just us falling over ourselves, really, honestly.
Everything went to hell, and it was that super blue blood moon from January, at the end of January 2018, and it was these waves of energy were just pounding me.
Crazy.
I mean, I could barely sit up in my chair. And I tried to fake it. I tried to pull it together. I couldn't do anything. I was just a mess. Don was falling all over himself. Don's not necessarily a clumsy person, but that night, everything he touched just started breaking. Yeah, he broke about 3 things. He broke a thumb drive, memory drive.
I threw my hands up in the air and said, "You know what? I can't stay."
Yeah, I was like, I can't do a show. So it's the only time we've never not done a show that we've started.
Yeah.
We've always done a show, but I'm sorry. And actually after that, I had the waves and waves and waves of this energy, and I went to the emergency room.
Yeah, the next day you went.
That very night I went.
Oh, but he didn't tell me. I had to wait until like Saturday.
Yeah, I just went to the emergency room. I didn't know if I was dying or what the hell was going on. I just could not. I just didn't have any equilibrium. It was like I was getting hammered over and over by these incredible waves of energy. And they checked me out at the hospital, and everything was fine. But it was the most surreal experience of my life. It's the most energy I've ever felt. And I know that sounds really esoteric to a lot of you, but all I can say is just imagine on those times when you had this huge energy rush and you felt just hyper, but it was like that times like 50. It was just so much that it was actually like knocking me out of my body almost. It was just, I had everything I could do to fight to stay inside of my body and not to pass out. And whatever it was, I don't know if it was the super blue blood moon, whatever the hell that was.
Right.
It made me terrified of moons for a little while.
I was just
like,
right
the next full moon that came around, I'm like, oh my God, I'm holding crystals and trying to cleanse and bounce the energy back. But it was pretty terrible.
Yeah.
But what was the question? The original question.
The question was weirdest, strangest things that we've experienced.
Yeah, I think the funny thing is that I've really experienced a ton of weird, strange things. And at the risk of repeating things again, I mean, I don't know. Other than those things that I've already repeated,
right?
I find weird, strange things all the time in my life. Strange, odd things happening, and it really. I guess, honestly, and this is just me speaking frankly, it really excites me. I think that there's something just magical about this paranormal stuff. Mm-hmm. And I really get excited about it because it's demonstrating a breakdown in traditional physics and traditional scientific understanding. It's a breakdown between dimensions. It's a breakdown of what we understand to be reason and rational. And I actually love it. I really do, because I don't want to live in a sterile 3-dimensional world that is just a box. I don't want to live in a box. I want to live where there's mystery and adventure and there's things to figure out and it's exciting and intriguing. And so I don't know if I could point to any other strangeness specifically, but because there's just been so many. I think one of the most incredible events I was just talking to Don about before the show was when I got the ghost phone call from my dad. I'd already had a dream of him, he and I meeting after he passed, and we gave each other hugs, and he apologized, I apologized, just for our lives, just where we didn't click and connect. And it was this beautiful moment. Well, a couple days later, it's a Friday, and I got a ghost phone call from my mom's phone. I thought she butt dialed me, and I'm waiting, I'm yelling, and I can hear somebody, a male figure or a male in the background, kind of like saying something, and then every once in a while coughing. I thought, well, maybe my brother's over. My mom must have butt dialed me, and the phone's, she can't hear. And I sat there yelling, hey, hello. Nobody heard me. So I finally hung up, called back the phone. So the phone went to voicemail. Nobody ever answered. And I was like, well, that's weird. She just called me. Well, maybe she's not hearing it ring. And I just kind of left it alone. 15 minutes later, 20 minutes later, my mom calls me and goes, "What did you want?" I said, "Well, I just wanted to let you know you butt dialed me. You called my phone, and I heard that someone was there. Some male. Is it Jeff over there, my older brother?" And she said, "That's not possible." And I said, "What do you mean it's not possible? It happened. Your phone called me." And she looked at her caller records and sure enough saw that there was an outgoing call to my phone. But she says, "You don't understand. My phone's on the dining room table. I was downstairs in the shower for the last half hour, 45 minutes."
Right.
So nobody was there. Her house was locked. Nobody else was there. And I thought that was amazing. Then she started telling me stories about when my dad's old TV would turn on and start playing, and it's plugged in and everything. That's not supernatural in and of itself, but it never happened in his life. And then he's gone, and it's like he's still there watching TV on his porch. And I thought that was amazing. So that Friday night, I went on to the show. It was my normal show, talking about all these things that were going on with my dad and all these experiences. And this was on the Parathon as well. But my mom called me the next morning and says, "You're not going to believe this." And I said, "Well, what's going on?" She goes, Your dad's TV just turned on now." I said, "Oh, wow, that's cool." And she goes, "No, you don't understand. Your dad's TV is on right now. It's on the internet. It's on YouTube. It's on your channel, and it's showing your show of you talking about your dad." And I was like, "What?" So you have to understand there's so many variables there that are at work, so many impossibilities all lined up perfectly to make this event happen. My dad's TV was never connected. It's a smart TV, but it was never connected to the internet directly. Never. His TV was never on YouTube, ever. My parents don't know much about YouTube. Even now, even though their son has a show on it, they still don't know much about it. And my dad could barely operate a remote in life. My mom always had to do it for him. But there was his TV. It was on. Not only was it on, it was connected in a way it had never connected before, which was to the internet. Not only was it just connected to the internet, it was specifically queued up to YouTube. Not only was it connected just to the internet and YouTube, it found my channel. And not only just my channel, out of hundreds of shows, it was playing the very show of me talking about my dad doing all this stuff. Right. She recorded it. She recorded it on her phone. And I played that video from my mom on the Parathon. That's the actual film of her recording that TV doing that. Mm-hmm. So, if you want to hear an amazing tale, well, that's one of them.
It's somewhere in that 8 hours. Go find it.
Yeah. So it's all out there, but very strange, very very strange stuff.
So Nessie Monster asks, "What's your opinion in the afterlife? Can ghosts understand all language or just the language from the last life they lived?" I like the way she worded that. The last life they lived, not the life before that one or the one before.
Sure.
But I think that would go with, can they understand all languages? So what in the afterlife, can ghosts understand all languages or just the language from the last life they lived?
Thank you, Dub. I appreciate that. Dub said it's freaking awesome, right? It really is. It's really cool. Yes, they can understand all languages. The reason why, if you look at the mechanics of it, language is based on energetic vibration. And we have thoughts that exist energetically. We translate thoughts into a sound vibration. So the actual words are about 3 stages after the actual conception of the thought. The spirits can understand the thoughts. Mm-hmm. They don't need the vibration of air to translate those thoughts into ears or anything like that. Right. So they can understand anything because it's all born of the same thing, which is energy, which is where they exist. They exist energetically. So I believe that they are able to hear our thoughts and they know our thoughts. So, you can't really lie to a spirit.
Yeah, no.
And I don't think that they generally lie either because they exist energetically. So
they have no reason to, unless
they're not very nice.
Yeah.
But that's a whole different thing. So, I believe wholeheartedly that they can understand any language because language is just a sound vibration based on a thought. And they're all born the same way within us. So cool. That's my 2 cents.
5 Hazel. Brent, have you researched about prehistoric animals coming through portals and people seeing them?
Yeah, we've talked about that a bunch on the show. And here's the thing is I really think that's the only thing it could be is portals. I don't think that there's pockets of living dinosaurs in our world. I really don't, because there's no bodies. These are not highly functioning animals.
No.
They're just the same as any other bird that's flying around right now. They don't really have a thought like, I don't want the people to see me. I don't think that most of them are even operating at the level of a mammal. I don't think they
they're
have
bird
that.
brains.
Yeah, I mean, literally, they are geared towards, I need to eat. Where do I need to roost or sleep, and I need to be safe. And I don't think that they're avoiding people too much. Maybe they've learned to. Maybe they through whatever experience. But I don't think that through all this time we wouldn't be finding some kind of carcass of them. So, but I do believe people are seeing them.
Yes.
So I do believe they must be coming through portals and maybe going through portals. Maybe there's some portals that exist constantly, and they know that they can go to this one place to get through to this other hunting ground,
Right.
and then fly back to wherever they're from.
That's a reasonable idea. Thinking of it as a hunting ground, because birds migrate all the time. They know exactly where they're going every year and how to get back to exactly where they were. Just like salmon, they know exactly. They grow up in the river, and then they go to the ocean for 5 or 7 years, and then they head back to where they were born. So that makes perfect sense to me that they would be able to find these portals and know where these portals are, as long as they're stable type portals.
Yeah,
So, or
exactly.
even cyclical, they know when the cycle comes through.
Sure.
So
Just
yeah.
like birds know to migrate at
Yeah,
a certain
exactly.
cycle. So,
Exactly.
I think it happens. I haven't researched it more than that. I'm not the kind of person that will research a whole lot of other people's stuff, because I don't know. And it's not really arrogance. It's not because I'm arrogant. Maybe it's just because I'm too lazy. But once I come to a conclusion in my head, that's pretty much where I rest until I hear something that maybe changes my mind.
We just lost a phone call.
We did.
Yeah, there was a phone call on there for a minute, and I was just about to point it out to you, and
Oh.
it just blinked out.
Well, call back, please, if you
Yes,
would.
it was somewhere in North Carolina.
North Carolina, call back. We're waiting on you.
Do Ouija boards open portals in vast paranormal space in which the entities notice it, and it's the closest one that comes through in the vast ocean of that strange dimension, like moths to a flame? So do Ouija boards open portals in a vast paranormal space, and whoever's closest comes through? What is your opinion on that?
Well, I think they just become a beacon.
I think they're just
If you want,
opportunists, yeah.
if you want to call it a portal, it may be a portal into another dimension. It might create a portal. I don't know that the boards themselves are portals, but I know that they, through activity and through summoning, they may create a portal that may remain open. Well, I mean, they are a portal in the sense that there's a spiritual entity coming around.
Right, but you need to give it your spirit, your energy to activate the portal.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, because we become the blind channel.
Right.
I don't know that it's like this doorway that opens in this other world. I think that spirit's all around us. I think we're actually swimming in a world with spirits. We just aren't aware of them, and maybe they're not aware of us. But something like a conduit, like a Ouija board, could create, maybe makes them aware of us and allows them to come through.
It's like a summonsing, like you said, a beacon, yeah.
Right. It just serves, I think, as like a beacon, and that comes, and they may, for some reason, need to say something or want to say something. But you're right. It's a blind channel. You're just saying, hey, is anybody there that wants to talk? Well, whatever hears that is what's going to want to talk, and you,
Right.
That's why I think it's so very important to set your stage.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to stage your environment long before you ever start touching the planchette. And you got to do that through cleansing, through prayers, through sounds, through smells, whatever, oils, incenses, herbs.
Whatever you believe or you have
Right.
faith in to keep you safe is
Right.
what is basically what he's saying. And he would have said it, but I beat him to it.
No, that's cool. I appreciate you helping. But because you want to make sure that whatever something dark isn't encouraged to come through. Like they may hear the call, but they may not be able to respond because of all that stuff.
Right.
That should be pushing away the negatives and allowing only the positives. Now, conversely, it's also closing a session on a Ouija board is not just dragging a piece of plastic over goodbye. I don't care what they say. That may be in the instructions, but you're not closing that communication, through dimensional gateways, through whatever, by just dragging a piece of plastic over goodbye. Believing that may be helpful, but still, you have to very, very deliberately and very forcefully close that in You can do that through prayers. You can do that through statements, through through energy, through sage, through holy water. You can use those kind of things to close it, command that it is closed through whatever it is you believe in, that it'll come and close this portal and it shall not be opened again. That which I open, I now close. That which I now close, I destroy. That which I now destroy, I seal. And, however you want to do it, it's up to you. But just be sure to be very adamant about closing that session.
Right.
So,
also a follow-up question from Woke in SoCal. Paranormal Portal, have either of you ever played with the spirit board? And the answer is hell no. For me.
Yeah. I've played with it years ago, into my 20s, but I don't know. I'd never had anything so absolutely amazing happen that I felt compelled to continue to use it. I was curious and I have played with them before, but I never had a profound experience with them. I felt weird energies, but that's about it. Five Hizzle says, at Paranormal Portal, Rhonda says she could heard y'all, but you couldn't hear her. We hadn't answered her yet. So if she heard us, it's because she's hearing the station feed through the hold, right. But it wasn't unmuted yet, so we never actually talked to her. So we have to actually answer the call. But she will hear the show through the phone until we actually answer it. Yeah. Hey, Mr. Wes Germer, how you doing? I really was looking forward to seeing you on Bigfoot Odyssey.
Was he the guy in the red shirt?
No, there was this huge microphone on the bottom.
Oh, he likes huge things in his face.
Oh, Jesus, Tom. Oh, no.
I meant microphones. I mean, mine's not in my face. You don't have a huge microphone.
Oh,
take that one, Wes.
Sorry, we kind of teamed up on you tonight.
You just saw the last of the chat. We spammed the last of the chat.
Oh my God!
Yeah, awesome.
After you left, we really lit you up. But I'm sorry, you'll never get to see that. But no, we love you, Wes. Of course, you know that. No, yeah, it should say line unmuted when we actually answer it. So if you want to call back, no, it's nothing showing up right now. Rhonda, if you're trying to call, please try again, 720-923-0500. And I will see you pop up here, and then I will click the button, and it'll say line unmuted, and then we can talk. So I'm watching for you. So was there any more questions?
I lost my spot.
Don lost his spot.
If I used a Ouija board, could I summons an entity that will play D&D with me? Oh my gosh. No, you'd probably get Duke at that point.
Yeah, no, I don't think they generally come to play board games. Nope, no calls. I'm not seeing anything come through. So we'll keep watching for it. If you call again, we'll get to you.
So Duke made a statement. He says, legend seems to indicate that Dogman may be a portal hopper, specifically jumping portals to here during the full moon period. You know, it's funny that you say that, because if you go back to an Art Bell show back in like 1998. Oh,
here's a call.
There she is. That's her.
That's her.
That's got to be her.
Hold on. Let's unmute it. And hello, 336. You're on the air. Are you there? See, there's no sound coming. I don't think that's on us.
See, yeah, you should be hearing us now.
Well, so. even I should be seeing those red lines from her speaker if she was talking into it.
I wonder if she has her phone muted.
Is your phone muted, Rhonda? Is that Rhonda? I don't think it is, but
it's the same. It's the same from the last time. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but I don't see. There's a little icon of a speaker that should show me red lines when you're talking, like there's red lines off the speaker next to mine, but I'm not seeing that you're talking. So I don't know. I guess someone else call in, and we'll test this out. Because now I'm curious. I guess I could call on my own phone.
Paisley, do you have a question? Are you listening?
No, it's fine. I'll call on this phone.
Oh, he's going to call himself.
Yeah.
And then answer himself on that.
Well, unless somebody else calls in first, but 720-923-0500. Let's see. Oh, no, somebody else did call in. MCAT. Oh, there I am. So let me see.
Yeah.
Let me see. All right, let me redo that. I'm going to undo this. Let's see if MCAT can talk to us.
MCAT, you there?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you fine.
Yeah, that's coming through good. Okay.
Yeah, we hear you just fine.
All right, my call can be ended. We hear you good, brother. Thank you for helping us. But for some reason, we're getting no sound from our other caller, so that's very strange. But it's nice to know it's working. That's the big thing. Well, yeah, it's the portal.
Yeah,
so.
it's working. All right, cool, man.
Thank you, brother.
Hey, thanks for calling in, bud.
Yep, you bet.
All right.
All right. Our good friend, Mr. MCAT, Tales from the Trails.
The Tales from the Trails.
Yeah, you're right. Every time he spoke,
the red.
Yeah, they came out, and then we stopped talking. So there's no red bouncing on that other one.
Yeah, I'm sorry that the phone's not working for I think Rhonda is her name. So I apologize. But it does appear to be on your end. We just tested our end. We got another call, and this is area code 228. You're on the air.
Hello, the number you have reached is in service. How are you?
We are lovely, of course, because that's how we roll up here in the portal. But how are you?
I couldn't help but do it, guys. I love you. And great show, great crowd, great chat, great topics. And thank you very much for answering my question concerning these prehistoric creatures people are seeing come through portals. Mm-hmm. And there's been several of those on Highway 22 in Alabama, rural Alabama at that.
Okay.
And so I'm just giving you that tidbit, and I'm going now.
You're going now? Okay. Well, thank you so much for calling in. It's great to hear from you.
Oh, she's already gone. Thanks, Hazel.
Okay. All right. We did get that same caller from North Carolina calling back. Let's try it again. Area code 336. You're on the air.
Hi, this is Rhonda.
There you go.
There
now
you
we
are.
hear you.
Ta-da.
I promise you, I tried 3 times calling in, and I could hear you guys talking, but you couldn't hear me, and I was saying, hello, hello. I'm a little nervous, too, right now.
Oh, don't be nervous.
Why? It's just us. We're two
So y'all hear me, correct?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
We do. We hear you great.
Okay. All right. I'm nervous. I'm really nervous. I have a incident that happened to me about 4 or 5 years ago. I'm up here in the mountains in the Blue Ridge, and it just absolutely crazy. I just stopped telling the story because every time I told it, it just felt weird. Because it's crazy. I mean, it has to do with an alien. Let me just tell the story and get it out there, and then I mean, I don't know exactly how this goes, and I'm really nervous.
Okay.
It's me and my 3 boys. I'm below the knee amputee, and my son went camping for the weekend. I moved down here from Michigan, and I'm in this old little country house out in the middle of the woods, middle of summer. I got all the windows open in the house. It's about 1, 2 in the morning. I'd been listening to this really spiritual, like Buddha music. I don't even know how I found it.
Wow.
And it seemed like you can stop me if you want to in between if I'm talking too fast.
No, you're
or
great.
Anything.
You're going great.
Out of nowhere, I started to, I don't know, something started to speak to me telepathically, and it made me feel how the world was, and I mean, all this crazy stuff, and I mean, I'm nervous. I'm really nervous.
Oh, sure, you're
and
fine.
it just made me, and as it spoke to me, I felt what it said.
Okay.
And I was like, wow, this is crazy, So I took a minute, took the earphones out, Maybe I've been in isolation too long out here in the woods. And my other 2 boys were playing video games in the bedroom, but my one son had gone camping. So I said, well, let me go back and go to the bathroom. Like I said, I'm below the knee amputee, and my bathroom's in my bedroom, and all the windows were open. And when I was sitting on the toilet, and, I was thinking of everything that just happened and everything, of listening to the music and everything that just happened to me. And I said, wow, look at that window. The curtain was blown open a little bit. And I said, it's awfully dark. That's awfully black. I should be able to see the back, porch light. And then I started wiping and getting up, and then that's when I seen it. And the only thing that I can explain and how it was what they call an alien gray. And the eyes were gigantic, and I just, froze. I was terrified. And I was thinking to myself, well, at least it's not going to bite me. It's got a little tiny mouth, gigantic head, black eyes, two dots for a nose, no bridge. It was charcoal gray. And I got to get past this damn thing, So I climbed into the bathtub, in which I thought I was screaming and beating on the bathroom wall right there because it leads into the boys' room, and they're right in the next room playing the video game. Well, that wasn't working, and it felt like this being or this entity had slowed time down for me. It was weird, all weird. And I said, well, I got to get the heck out of here. And the only way to get out of here is run past this thing, run past this window. So I did that, and I'm sitting on the edge of the couch out in the living room, and the boys come out. I called their names, and I tried to tell them what just happened to me, and they didn't believe me. My son said, well, maybe you're having sleep apnea. I'm wide awake. I've been drinking a little coffee, listening to a little spiritual music, but after that, it was just strange things happened throughout the house. I mean, the whole time we were there. And, it got really, really, really scary. It was good and bad. I was held down in my sleep, and so I'm beginning to wonder. I've got tons of things that I could go on and probably take up your whole show that happened to me at this house. So I begin to wonder, is it a demon?
Maybe.
Is it an alien? But then I have other incidents that have happened to me through my life that, it's just weird. But that's my story.
That's pretty powerful, huh?
And my son's standing in here, and I'm talking real fast because I do that when I'm nervous,
Well, first of all, you're doing great.
But
You're doing great. Don't worry about it. I think your story is absolutely incredible. Now, are you guys ever seeing any strange lights out there that would correlate with an alien being in your window? Like, there any anomalous lights moving through the hills or anything?
Well, this is what happened. About 4 days later, I believe my one son has Asperger's. He's high-functioning autism.
Okay.
And after this, a couple of days after my incident, I felt like I was on acid or something. I could hear the birds singing in the woods, and it was like, oh my God, it was just like a chorus. It was beautiful music, and it was raining. I'm way out in the woods, and then my car had broken down, so I had no way to get nowhere,
Right.
But then about 4 days later, whatever was attacking me, whether it be good or bad, it attacked my son.
Oh, no. Okay. Huh.
Yes.
And to what degree?
He scared me. It scared me. I thought he was possessed. And he did go into I had to call the police, and he had to, because I thought he was going to walk off, and you could tell. Even the lady from the hospital at the intake said, because we're a little small town up here. She's like, I said, yes. I said, either he's on acid or he's possessed, So the scene, not only, I think I was strong enough to fight it. I didn't know what was going on. I thought I was having some kind of spiritual awakening. And now that I look back, hey, was it a demon in his house? I don't know. And I had to send him away. He went away for 30 days to a mental place.
Okay.
And I think that's because he was weaker. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because of his Asperger's.
Right.
So no, we didn't see any lights or anything. But then one night, I mean, we would hear scratching. I was being held down, and my same son that was attacked said that he started to see, which he still sees now to this day. I think he's kind of sensitive. That he was seeing beings, light beings.
Oh.
I don't know. And then he started to tell me that he was seeing things crawling on the ceiling that were black. I said, Johnny, don't tell me that. Dear God, don't. I can't get out of this house. You know, I'm stuck in this house out in the middle of nowhere. And that's when I made my prayer table.
Okay. Did that help?
And saged the house.
Did that help?
It helped a little bit.
Okay.
A little bit. Until we were able to get out of that house and away from there. But, I mean, it's like every day I think about it. What was it? What happened there? You know?
Yeah. That's very, very strange. You know, it could be entirely spiritual. It could be extraterrestrial, I guess, or extra dimensional anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's pretty tough to draw the distinction based on, what you're explaining. But, I'm really sorry you went through that.
I'm throwing it all out there, bits and pieces,
Sure.
and I'm nervous, so I'm not going right.
No, I understand. But, the whole idea is, it doesn't sound like in a traditional sense like a lot of the close encounters kind of things. It sounds more spiritual to me, I guess, as you're explaining what happened and how things happened. Especially...
This is what I felt like. I felt like something was fighting for my soul.
Sure. Yeah.
I felt not only good in that house, but it opened Pandora's box, so to say. There along with the good, there was evil. Because I've taken a lot of positivity away from this experience.
Mm-hmm.
It's made me. I wouldn't say I believe in God. That's it. And that's what this being told me, that there was one God. There was one God for everything, for all the creatures, everything, the universe, everything. And they said that we're getting it all wrong, and this is not the way God meant it to be. We're destroying the planet. It's a living, breathing. This being, and this is what I got, because I had whatever happened to me when I found this spiritual music and it spoke to me telepathically, and then I seen it when I went back to the bathroom. So I don't know. I've been listening. That's when I started reaching out, like the last 6-7 months, to these different shows and Bigfoot. I've always been a very sensitive person to spirit and to the spirit world, and.
Right.
So I just don't know.
Well, it's if you had a powerful dialogue with this thing or these things, then it would seem that it wasn't a bad experience all in all. I mean, it sounds like there was a whole lot of things going on though there. It doesn't sound like any one thing. It sounds perhaps like you may have a portal open in your area or in your home.
Yes.
What I'm thinking.
Because listen, because during that experience, I can't tell you at what time, what happened, and what came first, because so much stuff happened there. Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't even take a bath in my bathtub. I wouldn't go back in my bedroom for at least 3 months after this happened. I'd make one of my boys sit on the end of the bed. David, are you still out there? I'm in the bathtub. Let me wash my hair and get it done. Don't go nowhere. But the boys, when I started sleeping in my bedroom, I'm like, I've got God. I'm strong enough that whatever's happening to me, you're not going to be able to get to me. Right. Or do what you did to Sean, because I'm way stronger. I was talking to this thing,
sure.
I was terrified. But the boys come running back in the bedroom, and they're like, oh my God. I'm like, stop, what happened? They said out in the living room, it was like a big flash of light. Like when something is trying to come through from another dimension, or like the portal is trying to open up,
right.
There's like a big light or worse. I said, well, what do you want me to do? There's nothing I can do until we can get the heck out of here,
Yeah.
But
Well, it sounds like you
Anyhow.
guys handled it real well, but I definitely believe that you guys were just dealing with an open portal, and open from some other reason probably. I mean, I don't think it's anything you guys did.
right,
But
right.
it's in a pretty amazing group of events. Now, once you moved away, that all ended.
No,
Okay.
it followed me to my other house, and like at the same time, and it would just mess with me and my son.
Okay.
Like one night, he's like, he would come running back in my room, and he's like, I said, yes, I hear the scratching. He's like, maybe it's a mouse. Well, hon, a mouse ain't going to scratch at my ear and at your ear and run through the house in that amount of time.
Sure.
And then all this stuff kept happening, and then I said, one day I had taken a mirror from the other house.
Uh-oh.
And I said, that's it. That's got to be it.
Sure.
And once I took that mirror, I wrapped it up. I said, I'm not breaking this thing. Nothing's happening to it. I wrapped it up in a blanket and took it out to the shed, and everything stopped.
Yeah. Yeah. You had you had an item.
And then when we moved from that house, I just left that mirror. But it
This is now somebody
intrigued
else's
me
problem.
so much. I went back to the first house and knocked on the door one day.
Oh.
Because I'm like, okay, is this a me thing? Is this a house thing? Did you say, like, maybe somebody might have been playing the Ouija board there and then got this activity started?
Maybe.
But I knocked on the door. The yard was a shambles, everything, and nobody came to it. So, but anyhow.
Wow.
But that's sad.
Wow. Well, I think you did right by leaving, and I'm glad you got rid of the mirror. I think I think just leaving it might have been a not the best choice, but
I know. I didn't think about it at the time,
Sure.
because I don't know about all this
Sure.
stuff. I grew up,
I understand.
one grandmother was Catholic, one grandmother was Pentecostal.
Oh my.
Wow.
So, I didn't want to, but then when I thought about the mirror, I said, and because my son started to be affected again.
Oh.
And I, at the new house, and he had to go away for 2 weeks,
Oh,
and
dear.
then when I got the mirror out of the house, no problems.
Good.
And then we moved to our third house up here. But anyhow,
Oh, very good.
that's my story.
That's pretty incredible, and I'm glad you kept trying to get a hold of us because I'm glad we got to
No,
hear
that's-
your story.
It's an excellent story, and yeah,
I
it's
don't know. Maybe
incredible.
somebody didn't want me to tell it or
Well.
something. I was beginning because I could hear you guys talking.
Yeah, we
It wouldn't ring.
right.
Right.
We have to
They're
actually.
gonna think I'm not trying.
The first time you called, we never had actually gotten to your call, so we had never unmuted it to talk to you. The second time when we,
Oh,
so we actually have to unmute it, and
Right.
then you can talk to us. So,
Otherwise, it's just like you're continuing to listen to the show
Yeah.
until the phone is answered.
yep, you'll just hear the show broadcast through the speaker of the earpiece. But we have to actually answer it, and then we can talk to you. But the next time when we did unmute it and say hello, 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 it didn't
Yeah, there
work.
was
But I'm
nothing
glad
there.
you tried back another time.
Yeah, absolutely.
That worked out lovely.
yeah. Okay, thank you. And I'm sorry I'm talking so fast.
No,
I've
you're
been
fine.
drinking some coffee and
You did great.
doing my plants out there, and I finally got up the nerve.
Well, I'm
It's
glad
a
you
crazy
did.
story, and I stick to it. My one son that was camping for the weekend, I mean, it took him for a while, and I'm like, Nate,
Sure.
this happened. It was an alien being, whatever, but anyhow, I don't know. Crazy stuff is going on nowadays because I've
Right.
never even heard of the dog man. Bigfoot's been around forever, but
Right.
all these other Mothman, dog men, lion man, whatever the heck, lamb man.
just
I mean,
lots of
it's
men.
just gotten crazy. So you
And where are the
wonder,
women? Where
you
are the
know.
women? That's what I want to
Yeah,
know.
exactly.
Where's the dog women? And
dog.
time. This
They're
sounds-
out there somewhere. I heard a story about one somewhere. One of these shows. She
Nice.
was all tan and light and pretty and big and sweet. She was a sweet dog woman.
Aw.
But anyhow,
that's
thank
good.
you for listening to me, and
Oh, thank you for calling.
I love you.
We love you too.
No
Thank you.
hands over the eyes. I can see you.
No, I had a.
Okay, guys.
All right, we love you. Thanks for calling
Thanks,
in,
Rhonda.
and have a great night.
No, the reason I
All
had
right, peace.
the reason I had my hand over my eyes is because you said, "Where's all the women?" And I was like, "Where's all the?" Is that? I was like, "No."
You already slid an Essenheimer off tonight.
Did I?
You're on narrow ground.
Oh, wow.
When you were talking about one of the creepy stories. You're like, and all that, and you.
Oh, I didn't
you
even realize it.
You went full pronunciation on that, but I did.
Did I really? Wow.
Yeah, one got out.
You know, Rhonda
bound to
brought up, her son who has Asperger's.
Yeah.
And Asperger's is under the umbrella of autism. They're talking about taking it out as an actual autism. So, but anyhow, I've talked about my belief about autistic children before, or children with autism.
Yeah.
About how the lower functioning they may not be able to they may not be able to speak, or they may be wheelchair bound. And why are you showing off my nice hair?
You are just lovely. Look at those locks. Why did you stop talking though?
Because
Let's hear
I
more
just
about
saw
that autism.
So, but anyhow, I've mentioned that I think a lot. I think some of it might be because they are in touch with a higher being or a higher creator or a creator, and they can't process the information that they're receiving.
It's like they're skipping a level.
Yeah.
Like we have.
They
have
got
an
the
extra
double level up. Yeah.
Right. So they get that real high energy level connection, but they can't articulate it on our level.
Exactly. Yes.
So I agree. I think there's something really profound going on there. But yeah, I think your hair looks great.
Oh, thank you.
You just forget the hat thing. I'm thinking you just rock this now.
No.
All right. I'm just throwing it out there.
I'm just saying I got a whole lot of forehead.
That's so funny. A whole lot of forehead.
A whole lot of forehead.
That just means you got a lot of brain in there pushing it up.
Whatever. You got to have something pushing it up.
You've always had a high forehead, though, haven't you? Even when you were younger, right? Or no? I don't know. I'm asking. That was a question, Don. No? Yes? What?
I guess I've never really noticed.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go.
I used to have like a lot of hair that came down to here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Well, any more questions? Anybody? Anyone? If you want to know what us portal people think, now's the time to ask.
We're the portal people.
We've never done this before. We've never just opened up a listener question show. But I thought we'd try it tonight, and it wasn't even planned. Honest to God, none of this was planned.
But crossing the paranormal boundaries, that's an excellent name for this episode.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? The shows actually write themselves. That's pretty.
Yeah.
That's pretty creepy sometimes, but in a cool way, I think. A lot of times we aren't exactly. I mean, we usually have an idea of things we're going to cover, but we've long since given up on planning shows because so many times I'd put hours and hours into planning each show, and then it would just go sideways and do a bunch of hairpin turns and turn into its own show anyway. Right. So now we just come up with a guideline, and we just see where it ends up because it doesn't pay to plan it out. It just does its own thing. Yep. Where did Elvis go? Great question, Philip Blair.
Ask Bigfoot and Nessie because last time I saw they were riding on Nessie.
I'm right here.
That would be the Loch Ness Monster, not Nessie Monster.
Well, otherwise belovedly known as Nessie.
Well,
thank you very much.
But Nessie Monster is in the chat. She just said I have a nude noggin.
Lemonade.
Oh, God.
That cool, refreshing drink.
Oh, boy.
See
why I have no hair on my forehead?
It's from
this
Don
is called
rubbing.
Smacking my darn head.
Everybody loves Elvis.
Well,
right?
now without the hat on, you can actually see my facial expressions.
Yeah, that's right.
They can see me roll my eyes so hard my reality shifts.
Copy this, Blue Line. Copy that. Yeah, let's see a parody of that.
They're in here. Careful.
I know they are. I love that guy. They did a brilliant job. I am just kidding. I mean, I was just laughing my tail off. That was hilarious.
Believe it or not, Black Tree, I don't think my alien hand syndrome is weird. Just don't.
It's very weird.
It's not weird.
And by the way, I do not.
He says, Blue Line says I'm on it. Is that Jake or Adam? That's got to be Jake.
That's awesome. I do not speak Latin, by the way. I saw that come up.
Yes.
I know some Latin words, but I don't speak Latin. No. I'm not ready to perform the rites of exorcism for anybody, so do not become possessed in my
He
presence.
says challenge accepted.
That's what I love to hear. Bring it. We loved. I thought that was the funniest damn thing I'd seen in a long time. And it was so well performed and well played out. It was just like, wow. Even your hat design and the logo on the screen.
He never told me how he got the hat to look so.
He was zooming in. They probably
he
he
was
probably
like-
hand stitched it. I mean, seriously, because it was well done though.
Yeah,
it was
I'm
brilliant.
I'm wondering because that's like there's only one official hat in the world like that.
Yeah, that was
I
your
might have to charge you for it.
proprietary design.
Proprietary.
It's never been released to the public as of yet.
Duke says, "Hold his beer."
Blue Line says, "Here, hold my beer."
No, Duke said.
No, I know, but that's
No,
what
yes,
Duke is
no,
referring
gotcha.
to. Right.
Anyhow, so no, we were talking about alien.
And in
hand
case
syndrome.
anybody's
I was like,
wondering about Cha-Cha, she is double jointed apparently.
apparently so.
That's a weird hand thing too. Well, I think we're all learning
She
a whole
does
bunch more
weird
about each
hand
other.
thing.
I don't even know what that means. Is that like
Wow.
jazz hands or what's going on here?
Spear fingers.
I don't know what that means, but it's cracking me up. So, your alien hand syndrome is weird, Don.
No, it's not.
So,
know
ladies
how
and
it's
gentlemen, those of you who might not be
not
familiar
true.
with this,
It's not true.
It is true. You have this. You have this thing happening. If Don falls asleep on his hand or something, it will attack him in the night. He'll wake up and it's like choking him and stuff and pulling his
It
hair.
wasn't
And,
choking me. Now you're just making up stories.
okay, well, I might be embellishing a little bit. What does it do? What have you woken up with your hand doing?
My hand pulls my hair and shakes it so violently it wakes me up.
It's like, get off of me, get off.
You dirty dog! What the hell?
That's called alien. What is you, Dr. Strangelove?
Strangelovian.
Strangelovian syndrome. Yeah, and it's just so unique. And so I found that on the internet. I found that picture of that cat cleaning himself in his back.
Oh God, that was
his back leg starts smacking him, and then he's attacking his own leg. And I was like, if Don were a cat. That's so funny because that's what I pictured right away. It's like, oh, that's Don in cat form.
Jesus.
That is so unique, though. I've never even heard of that before you.
What?
I have never heard of anybody having their hand attack them when they're sleeping.
Oh God. It was kind of the freakiest
so funny.
stuff. Yeah,
I bet. I can imagine.
I don't find it strange though. My life is strange, but it's not.
Is it any wonder you'd end up on the Paranormal Portal? I mean, really?
No, not really.
It's not even a question. Your cat attracts you. Yeah. Yeah, Anubis does the same thing. He'll stalk us like we're cattle.
Chew my toes.
Oh, yeah. He used to totally chew on your toes. He'd just come in and fly into
Right in the middle of a show, it's like, ah.
I know we learned to shut the door
Yes.
after Anubis came really quickly because he would come and just stalk Don's toes. And Don would be sitting there kind of wiggling them, just doing toe stuff.
Yeah, just
All of a sudden, boom. Right in the middle of an episode, Don would start screaming. It's like, oh.
So Rachel gets it right. Says, I had it happen once, alien hand syndrome. My left hand flapped back and forth for about 30 seconds and freaked me out. Now, see, that's the thing, though. Now, most alien hand syndrome is left hand. Mine was right hand.
Oh.
And sometimes they say that it's due to a heart issue that you may or may not know you have. So check that out. But alien hand syndrome sometimes is attributed to heart problems, and that's specifically the left side. So
Have you had that checked?
I have no heart. What do I need checked? And it's my right hand, not my left.
Yeah, well, your heart may be on the wrong side, too. There's so much else that's wrong with you. So,
I moved it to protect it better, you dirty dogs.
yeah, well.
So yeah, but no, seriously. Sometimes it's attributed to heart stuff. So,
Oh, okay.
Cha-Cha says it happened to me too. I thought someone was attacking me in my sleep. Really? You know what, Cha-Cha? No, I'm not biting that one. No.
Well, maybe it did.
No.
I don't know.
That reminds me of a movie from the 80s. I think Corey Haim was in it. The Hand. Oh, The Hand. No, The Hand was actually a 70. Oh, maybe it was early 80s. But The Hand, I remember that movie. So think of this. Okay, so think of this. He lost his hand he was waving the guy, and then boom, a car comes and scissors it right off, right? Hand goes away. Crawls up to him, catches up to him and eventually kills him. Anyhow, No, she says she promises. Anyhow, but
Okay.
what
Well,
if?
I believe you. We'll
what
believe you.
if after the hand killed the host, the person who lost the hand, and then went and joined the Addams family?
Sorry.
Or what if it was Luke Skywalker's hand?
There you go.
No. Sorry.
Thank you.
No, Cha-Cha says she really had an episode of alien hand syndrome.
Well, there you have it.
Lilith was whose mom?
Lilith.
Lilith was whose mom?
Lilith was the mother of all monsters.
Oh,
She was
that's
also
right.
the apocryphal first woman ever, the first wife of Adam, but she would not submit,
Yuck.
and so she was cast out. That's the apocrypha.
Cha-Cha says, Don, I'm sure it doesn't make you feel any better to share a similar incident with me. No, I want to be unique. That doesn't mean I don't love you.
You are plenty unique, sir. There's no question. I can safely say I've never met another Don. Never, ever.
Vamp remembers the alien hand syndrome. She was there.
We used to bring that up all the time, but it's just kind of
Vamp
gotten
knows about
lost.
it.
And so for our new generation of listeners here, they can become familiar with all of our idiosyncrasies. Oh, that's so funny.
Talk about nunks.
Oh yeah, nunks. Oh,
That was all you, buddy.
That was all me. That was me thinking. That was me thinking. I coined a new term. I was going to call all of our listeners nunks.
I think it was Vamp that called you out on it. It was
Yeah,
either
Vamp.
Vamp or was it Vamp or Bella?
Yeah,
I can't remember.
Vamp
I think
came
it was-
clean and let us know.
I think it was Vamp. Yeah.
Yeah, she said that no, nunks are actually. So I was doing a story about nuns and monks, and I transposed the words and said nunks, and then I thought, oh, that's neat. That's a neat word, because we were always thinking, what do we call the listeners? Everybody's got a
Call 'em
pet
nunks.
name for their listeners, so we were like, hey, we'll just call you nunks, you bunch of nunks. Well, that was long after the show was over. I was in a MeWe chat, and and Vamp bestowed upon me the classical meaning for a nunk is apparently a really saggy ball sack.
So much for family friendly.
So I had to
Old man balls.
yeah I had to quickly rescind that, as it would not be the term to describe our listeners. Because, yeah, I didn't know. I thought it was a brand new word. I thought I was all proud of it and stuff. Hey, no, hey.
You know what? I'm gonna go look. You know what? If it's still there, Julia says, "Is that MeWe still there?" And I'm gonna go look right now, because that would be freaking hilarious.
Oh, that
Get a
message.
screen print of it.
Yeah, but it's probably about 5 years up there in layers. I mean,
Yeah, well,
there was so much
I'm the
chat going
kind
on
of
back
guy.
then. Well, in all 10 minutes left of the show, Don. I don't know if
I
it's
got
going to be.
plenty of time.
Really?
It doesn't matter what show it's on. Ooh, it's getting shorter and shorter.
The show is getting shorter and shorter, ladies and gentlemen. But any other questions? Anything with the last 10 minutes that you guys would like to discuss? Just put it up there. Put it up on the screen. Let's go. Let's get crazy in here. Let's get crazy in here.
Let's get crazy.
I got your reading ready to listen to.
Got reading ready? What?
I don't know.
Black eyed peas are yucky.
Okay, so nothing else. Okay. Well, how about the musical stylings of Brent Thomas? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just joking, of course. Exploding head syndrome.
What?
I've never heard of exploding head syndrome. Then
The only thing that comes to mind with that is
Rachel gets it right. The nunk's name gives me a warm, cozy feeling, or maybe it was that one beer I just drank. It did sound like a cute word at the time until I found out what the hell it meant. It's not so cute anymore. What? Nunk, brow, and monastic. Oh, Duke's naming the beer. Cameron has a question. Where is it, Cam? Question: if a Sasquatch talked to you, what questions would you each ask? Oh, so if we had a chance to ask a Sasquatch a question. Man, that's curious. That's a good one, because I've thought about that. What would it be like if you could communicate with a Sasquatch? What would you ask?
Why are you being stupid now and not hiding?
That's your question?
No,
Oh,
but it's a good question.
It is a question. Let's say they understood that you meant no harm and it was okay. I'd probably ask, what do you? No, I don't know. I guess I would ask, why specifically have they learned to avoid us? That would be the curious thing. I wonder if it's based on this like genetic knowledge, or is there a tribal legend that continually gets passed around of the problems with the other people, the naked people or whatever, the hairless people. I mean, I would be curious, how did they learn to avoid us? Was there, what is it about us other than our generally destructive nature? That would be my first curiosity. Why do they avoid us? And I don't know, Dom, what would your question be?
I don't know. I really don't know. You see these things on Facebook that says, if aliens came down and you could only ask them one question, what would that be? And it's the same thing. It's like, I just don't know. I just don't know.
Beth says, have you met us? Who wouldn't avoid us? That's a good point. And I do realize that, but I think that, like anything, there's a barometer of a range of peoples. And of course we got plenty of idiots, but we also got plenty of really loving people. And I like to focus on that as much as I can, because if you focus on the idiots, it's going to be a pretty painful life.
Yeah, you're going to have pain.
But that's curious. That's a great question, though. I don't know. I think about those kind of things all the time. And I guess just because I do think that they're intelligent, I think that they're maybe close to us intelligent, if not more. Maybe they're even more intelligent than us. And maybe they've just taken this spiritual road of living in harmony with their surroundings rather than carving their surroundings to accommodate their comfort like we do. But I guess I would be curious. I would like to know if they could disappear like people have seen them do, or what's happening when people are seeing that. How do you move quietly through a wood full of leaves and sticks without making a freaking sound? How does that happen? Mm-hmm. You got 6, 8, 10, 1,000 pounds of muscle that can walk without a sound through leaves and sticks. I mean, when we had Stephen Major on here, he was talking about he was staked out. He was in this great spot, and all of a sudden he just heard this faint rustling of leaves, and the next thing he knew, he felt this thing breathing in his ear. Yeah. It was already that close at his back. It came in off his back, and it was sitting there breathing in his ear. And what a humiliating experience that must have been, because with all of our hearing, he could not hear it. So I don't know. There's so much I would be questioning about that. He should have sent a poet. Don, do you get your eyebrows done? Julia wants to know if you get your eyebrows done. Don, do you get your eyebrows did?
Why would you ask me that? That's just
because they're just so shapely and manicured.
Yeah, whatever.
Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm. You ought to see my dad. His eyebrows
look like two caterpillars dancing on a melon.
Oh.
I love you. I couldn't help it.
My back hurts. The weight of the show, carrying the show, is just killing me.
You are the Atlas of the portal. There's no question.
So somebody said something the other night. I think it was when Blue Line jumped on Carrie's show with Wes and Tony, and Mog said something like, I think it was Mog said something about, yeah, Don knows how to take a beating.
Well, honestly, I was really, I didn't take that offensively at all. I thought it was just really cool, because you have a presence that they wanted to imitate. I must be boring as hell, is what I took
because they
from
put
that.
Me next to Wes.
Yeah, you and Wes are hanging out together, and freaking, I'm just, I thought that was hilarious, though. Don't get me wrong. I thought it was brilliant.
It was pretty awesome.
But, I mean, it's just that you have that kind of a character. Why, you're an oak. Why, Johnny Tyler, Madcap. Absolutely. That's actually Blue Line Bigfoot, one of my favorite movies of all times.
What?
Well, it was Tombstone.
Oh. Well,
Tom Wyatt, you're an oak. When Wyatt was...
Bigfoot?
No, it doesn't. It's just they happened to say that.
Oh.
Blue Line Bigfoot said that in the chat.
Yeah.
That was great.
That's actually an awesome movie.
Moog says, I was just joking, Don. You know that.
Yeah. No, Don knows how to take a beating. It's a truth.
It's the truth.
But it was a fun beating. That was actually really good. And I told him that. I said the attention to detail was pretty cool too.
That was really brilliant. I mean, it was well done. Even the West impression was really good. And, what do you think they are? There's no wrong answers.
There's no wrong answers, of course. I thought the funniest thing, and I had to go back and listen to it again. Huh?
Oh, go ahead.
No, the funniest thing about that was, so Don, what did he say? How long did it take you to grow that beard? And he goes, actually, I just shaved this morning.
I know, that was hilarious.
It was like,
it's just like gang busting out of your chin every day.
and by the way, it's been less than 2 years. So this is less than 2 years.
Yeah, that's quite a growth.
Yes.
That's a growth, I tell you.
You should go take that into the doctor and have it looked at. No, I just use Windex.
Ken says Jimmy Jean went live earlier, but I think he fell asleep.
Jimmy Jean? Jimmy Jean went live last night, too, during your show.
Did he really?
Yeah. I was like, I laughed about it. I'm like, Jimmy.
I wonder why he does that. I mean,
I don't know.
It's because, there may be some people watching my show that would watch his show because, Jimmy Jean's an old friend, and you'd think that he would try to plan around that, but he just kind of goes for it.
I am back. Let's see here. I think I'm in last year now.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to find it.
I'm in February. No, it's still going.
I believe it is, but I just,
it's going to take a while.
You got like 7 minutes until 9. Unless we go overtime to find that question.
But I can find it later, too. And
what's Sasquatch's favorite food? It's jerky. Hello. Everybody knows that.
Ducklings.
Ducklings. Hello.
Gosh. You gonna ask what his favorite bed is now? Purple.
Purple mattress. No, it's I think it's whatever the hell he gets to eat.
I think he's an opportunivore.
He's an omnivore.
Opportunivore.
Sure. Yeah, he'll eat whatever comes around. They'll
whatever
forage.
Comes to hand.
They will go help themselves to whatever they can. They don't seem to have many rules. I heard they like apples, but they don't care for oranges. I heard they don't care for oranges.
I heard they like wild plums.
Really?
Yeah. Bear told us that.
That's probably true then. If Bear said it. That man has seen his share. Let's see. Okay, kids, I got to go. Nessie Monster's leaving us.
Night, Nessie.
Man-child wants feeding. What is the man-child called? If you're Nessie Monster, what's going on?
The messy monster.
Release the Kraken. Got Nessie here with her husband, the Kraken. So, just saying. But no, thanks for coming in, and we appreciate you being here.
Absolutely.
He's a caveman. Oh, nice.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. He's a caveman. Is he knuckle dragon? I gotcha. Great show tonight, Paranormal Portal. Loves you all. Love you all. Be safe. Be well. Thank you, Five Hazel. You leaving us too? I mean, it's not like we've rolled the credits yet here. Come on, people. We could go another, preparathon here. You just never know how this could work out.
Oh, no.
Don's like, no, we cannot.
No, can't.
No, we cannot.
I have a long day tomorrow.
What is going on Friday's show? Nothing, right?
Friday's show, what?
I'm just thinking ahead. This Friday, I don't think anything is scheduled other than our normal shows, but I'm just thinking because let me look at the schedule here.
Oh, I'm back to where Vamp was still talking. She sent us those pictures of Dazed and Confused. She was setting up some stuff. Sorry, it's been a while.
November 15th. Okay,
let's
go ahead.
see here.
November 15th will be Deb Varner will be joining us, of course.
On the 15th?
Yes, on the 15th. And then the following weekend, of course, will be Donald Raymond Schmidt. And then that'll be on the 22nd. And then on the 23rd will be something else. Oh, yeah. We got an author, a new author.
Right, you mentioned that.
Truth Seeker is going to be joining us. He goes by,
Seeker?
that's a pen name, Truth Seeker. But it's obviously not his real name, but he wrote a really cool book, and I'm reading through it now, just about spirits and spirituality and, what is going on in the paranormal, all that kind of stuff. Really cool stuff. I like what I'm reading so far.
Nice.
So he'll be on the 23rd, ladies and gentlemen, so that should be good. But, I don't know, Don, it's 9:01 now.
It's 9:01?
Yep.
Oh, it's the witching hour.
Is it the Surrender the Search time?
No, because I can find it and then show it later.
Oh, okay. All right. You keep.
That's I'm
Don's a
doing
man.
my research.
Don is driven, ladies and gentlemen. I will say that. He's driven. He's driven me crazy. Thank you. I'm here all night. Whether you like it or not, because this is also where I live, ladies and gentlemen. It's not just the studio. This is my home. But, all right. I don't know. I don't know what else to give you guys tonight, but I hope you had a fun. Don, I have wild plum trees all over my yard. Wow. 5 Hazel says that. Okay. Very good. Okay. That'll probably encourage some squatches.
Oh.
If you notice them missing some plums, keep an eye on that.
God, I love plums.
It's 4 p.m. here. Night hasn't begun. Ken, yeah, you're already on the next day. We got to work out the lottery numbers thing where you find out the winning lottery numbers and then you let me know because you're a day ahead. So this is like time travel.
Oh, yeah.
I'm thinking we could peg a winner here. If you call me on your Wednesday night and then on Tuesday here, I'll go get the lottery tickets and then I'll split it with you. How's that sound? I think we could win.
I think we could do that.
It's time travel. He's already ahead. Absolutely. So I guess that's going to wrap it up, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here and being a part of our impromptu question and answer session here on the portal. But I just thought it was fun. And thank you guys for all your participation, all your questions, all the discussions. I think it's a great chance to you guys to get to know us a little better, other than just some talking heads here spitting out stories and talking about phenomena. If you haven't, please check out our podcast. Today's podcast, again, was the title of it. I got to look it up because I like the title. It's Amazing Stories of Reincarnating Children.
Yes.
These are children that have come into this life with clarity and recall of their last life, including their last demise.
Wow.
So they know how they died, and then a lot of times, this one girl said, I remember my other mommy was yelling at me when I was swimming, and I was having trouble, and I wanted to go to her, but I couldn't because I was underneath the ducks, meaning she was underwater. And then she said, then I fell asleep, and now you're my mommy. So really, really wild stuff. That's just one sample of what you'll hear on the podcast, but a lot of stories like that, ladies and gentlemen, really incredible encounters of these children having recall of a different life altogether. So I hope you guys will check it out. Please subscribe if you haven't. Please, if you like our podcast, head over to iTunes and give us a great review. That would be much, much appreciated because that, of course, helps the iTunes algorithm recommend the show. So it would mean a lot to us. But Don, anything in closing?
I just got far enough back that I see some of Pixie's MeWe chat here.
Cool.
She's talking about the sneakerhead.
Oh. All right. Anything in closing?
Yes. I was going to say Paisley Wild, but it's Wednesday, not Saturday. Thanks. I'll try to see if I can get a top on next time.
Get your lid on. All right, guys. We love you. Love you all. Be good, be kind, be nice. Take care of each other. Help each other out. Find the magic in every day and remember to laugh as much as you can. And I'll be back tomorrow night with some bedtime stories if you're interested.
There you go. 7
nights a week, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Come and check out the portal here on YouTube. So
I'll be here.
Love you guys. Have a good night. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Good night.